All right. Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Trenches, episode 2, week 2 in NFL on this channel, One Mic Media. And of course, I cannot talk about week 2 in the NFL without the usual team to give their thoughts and opinions and talk a little smack about the upcoming week. First, of course, I got to bring my man, all the opinions, all the crazy takes. What's good, Jeff?
Yo, what up?
All right. And of course, he was here last week. So we're going to go over his picks and how he did and see how his team did. Yo, what's going on, Jordan?
Yeah.
All right. And back from last year. He missed the first week, but he back to give his picks, his takes, and all his comments. And he back. Toby, what's good, bro?
What's good? I'm back. Low-key guru back in the building.
Oh,
Here we go.
What?
And we got a special guest in the building. Who knows how many times he might be on here? Hopefully, more often. He also in our fantasy league as well. What's good? Daryl, what's going on, man?
Good job, boys. Appreciate y'all having me.
Hey, no problem, man. You invited any and every week, man. I appreciate you too, man. Hey, man. So let's get to it, fellas. Let's get to it. Hey, my first question is, what are your biggest takeaways from week 1 of the NFL season? And because he was out last week, I'm gonna start with Toby.
Man, I didn't want to start with me because I'm just gonna go straight to the thing that hurt me the most. I wear my heart on my sleeve. The biggest takeaway is that the Steelers are very disappointing. This year is very important for Tomlin. Pickett, he didn't look great. Honestly, we got dominated. It was literally heartbreak after the first quarter. I'm watching it in the first quarter. I'm like, this is not the way, I'm expecting the season to go. And everybody's talking about the 49ers. They're such a good team, which they are. But I don't rate Brock what's his name? Brock Purdy. I don't really rank him that high of a quarterback. He was literally ripping us apart. Brandon Ayuk was doing whatever he wanted to do. We got Patrick Peterson back there. We got some new CBs. We still got Mika back there, and we were still getting carved up. Offense was terrible. Pickett was missing people. We looked so good in the preseason. I think we went undefeated in the preseason. Pickett was, doing his thing, but out there he looked terrible. He was missing people. I don't know what's going on, but my takeaway is that the Steelers, this year was supposed to be a step up for the Steelers in the right direction. Go back to our glory days, and Pickett is supposed to be the guy. Hey, I still believe in him. I'm going to give him more time, but it is a rocky start to me. So that's my takeaway from week 1, man.
Yeah, I won't bring no towels out today.
Yeah,
right now. But I think you didn't give the Niners enough credit or Brock Purdy. But moving forward, let me go to Jeff. What's your biggest takeaway from week 1, bro?
I don't really take. You know what? My biggest takeaway is watching the teams that's supposed to be contenders that lost the first week. Most teams that start 0-2 don't typically try and get to the Super Bowl. I think it's happened like once in the last 10 years where teams started 0-2 and they made the Super Bowl. So like those teams that have aspirations of making the Super Bowl that lost that first week, I know 0-2 is a treasure hole to kind of get out of. So we're gonna see teams like the Bengals, the New York Jets. The Buffalo Bills, the Bengals, teams like that are expected to be in contention for the championship. I'm just eager to see what they do in week 2 because of the fact that, starting 0-2 is typically one of those holes that people don't get out of and get to the chip.
Okay. And I just posted on my Facebook and I tagged you, Jeff, and Jordan as well. If y'all want to put it on there. Jordan, what's your biggest takeaways, bro, in week 1?
For me, I think one of the obvious big things was obviously the Jets, Aaron Rodgers getting hurt. That just blew everything. Like, I felt so bad for Jets fans. I feel bad for football fans because I don't even know why I got excited when I was watching the pregame. They was doing the hype up. I'm like, damn, I'm kind of excited for Jets fans. And then, 5 minutes in, it's over.
Yeah.
So that's one of the biggest things. This wasn't really a big takeaway. I didn't kind of expect it, but it was kind of like, But you look at some of the, great QBs in the league, top 5, top 6 guys. None of them really had great games. But week one, normally offense start off slow. Defenses is more ready to go than the offense. So it's kind of expected, but nah, I wasn't expecting every quarterback like top five. Like Mahomes didn't have a great game. Person have a great game. Burrow, Allen, Rodgers had 5 minutes. Lamar didn't have a great game. Herbert put up numbers, but they lost. So I mean, that was another takeaway for me.
All right. What about yourself, Daryl? Any thoughts, takeaways from week one?
Me kind of piggybacking off of Jordan. Like after watching yesterday's game or last night's game, the 2023 Jets, I think would be most saddest team or situation ever in sports. Like just looking at like all the talent they have, like especially just looking back from week one, I think it's safe to say the Jets had the best defense in the AFC. And like just thinking about coming into this year, thinking about all the teams, like all the weapons they have like in the AFC on the AFC side. So just having A-Rod go down, that's my takeaway.
Okay. All right. And I'll piggyback off Jordan also about the fact that a lot of the offenses looked a little sloppy. Weren't ready. I know it was some bad weather out there, but we did see a lot of sloppy offense. I felt like a lot of drop balls, miscues, penalties, things like that. It was a good week to surprise folks with like fake punts and onside kicks and stuff like that. But you'll see a little bit more cleaned up football, I think, moving forward. So that's my biggest takeaway from week one. All right, let's talk about last night's game, Monday Night Football. And this time I'm gonna start from. I mean, we know the biggest story about Aaron Rodgers, but also there's more of the other team on that field, the Bills. So Jeff, what's your thoughts on the game yesterday, the Bills and Jets, whichever one you want to touch on?
I mean, of course, the Aaron Rodgers getting hurt, just like the football guys, it could be a conspiracy. It could be faking it just to try and get that 1 year old so they can tank, and maybe you never know, but you just never know. It's all scripted. But you know what? The funny thing is this, right? The Jets stayed true to who they are. I mean, they ran the ball 28 times for 172 yards. I mean, even if you take away the Brees Hall 83-yard run, he still averaged about 4.9 yards a carry on his other 9 carries for 44 yards. That was gonna be their remedy anyway. That was gonna be the way they was gonna win. They was gonna force feed Brees and Dalvin, have A-Rod not throw a lot because we weren't expecting him to throw 30 times a game anyway. So he was going to average by about 25 passes a game, 2 touchdowns, 200-something yards, in my opinion. You might still be able to get that out of Zach Wilson. But, they was going to bring their hard hat and lay the wood on defense. And then at the same time, they was going to come and run the ball down, and that was going to be their formula. So I don't really see him deviating too far from it. On the other end of the bill, the Bills, Josh Allen, wow, man. I think he broke his confidence. You know how in sports sometimes you have a moment where a player, like his psyche gets broken, like the Wentz thing. Like I think Josh Allen might be having a mental crisis. So unless they get him back on track, because like I said, since 2018, he's got 84 turnovers. He leads the NFL. So he's been a turnover machine, and I think we covered it up by their success on the field, by them getting to the AFC Championship and so forth and so on. But the turnover machine thing isn't going to work. And again, like I think that they need to fix in-house. I think it's broken in-house.
Well, we know I'll let it go around first. Daryl, let me get you in here this time early. How you felt about the game besides I mean, we can touch on that too, but the Jets team, the Bills, what's your overall thoughts on that thing, man?
My takeaway is great win from the Jets. Great coaching staff to like just one of my biggest takeaway because like with the punt return, like the undrafted rookie. I remember watching Hard Knocks, bringing him in, first making it seem like he was about to get cut, then just letting him know he made the 53 and all the emotion from that, and just having him make the play to seal the win for them. And like on the speaking of Josh Allen, my thing is with him, I feel like his talent is getting in the way of him. Like I feel like he can make like 80-yard throws with that flick of a wrist. And I feel like just having that thought in his head that he can do that at any point, I feel like it's kind of like his strength is like his weakness, kind of something like that. But I feel like if he can just lock in, just make the easy throws, like just take what the defense gives him, and he has the talent around him. And I feel like with Dalton Kincaid, he can unlock a different type of element to that offense. So if like he can just hone in what he like just from within himself, I think he'd be straight.
Well, I know who was a big Josh Allen fan at one point, and that's our man Jordan, who was on for a while. So Jordan, how you felt about the game yesterday, man?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we didn't really get to see what the Jets offense was going to look like because of no Rodgers. I thought the Jets defense played lights out. Josh Allen, kind of to piggyback what Daryl said, his talent is like sort of like a kryptonite. Like you said, like there was one play where he rolled out the pocket, he threw it like 60 yards downfield, threw the pick when he could have just ran for the first down. Like you threw it just because you can get the ball there. Like, you know what I'm saying? You overthrew the ball. Safety made a great play. But overall, I mean, I think that the Bills are still going to be a contender, even though he's a turnover machine. I think he, like they kind of reel him in after that. Still no run game. Kind of expected a little bit, a little bit of more of a run game with them. But I think they're still going to be a contender. They damn sure going to be a contender now because ain't no Rodgers. So they definitely going to be 1 or 2 in the division for sure. But
Toby, how you feel about it? You think they're still a contender? How you feel about it?
I mean, they're in a tough division. It's not going to be easy. I don't know. Maybe they're a playoff contender. But let me just talk about Rodgers real quick. It's very sad what happened to A-Rod. To tear your Achilles. I didn't even get to see him throw the ball. Like by the time I got to the game, he was done. It's very sad. And the Jets, I think they're snake bitten. They're a snake bitten organization. I mean, it's hard for them to have consistent success, especially at the quarterback position. To the Bills, and the Jets defense, elite. We know they're gonna, carry them for the most part, but we got to see if that quarterback is going to be able to, carry his weight. When it comes to the Bills, Josh Allen has taken a step back. I feel like he has a lot of talent, but I feel like when you have a lot of talent and you don't hone in on your you don't hone in on your skills. You just let your talent do everything. Throwing deep balls. How does the same person catch 3 picks?
He might have been like the safety though. So if he roaming back there, he is liable. It's possible.
It's crazy to me. I mean, he's doing whatever he needs to. I think he needs to, calm down, relax. And I was watching different shows and he was talking about Brian. I think his name is Brian Dable.
That's the key. I was gonna say nobody said it.
Offensive
That's
coordinator.
the key. That's what he's missing. Brian Dable.
Yeah, and they said once he lost him, he definitely started taking, more reckless. Like I just think Josh Allen's too reckless. He's gotten away with it because of their success, winning games. They lose in the playoffs, of course, because they haven't been to the Super Bowl. And I think that's going to happen again this year. They might get to the playoffs. If they do, I don't think they're really going to do anything unless Josh Allen takes that next step, starts taking care of the ball. They still don't have a running game. I don't know how they still don't have a running game after all these years. But, yeah, I mean, they're just a team that I feel like, if they go against the Bengals in the playoffs, the Bengals will beat them. They'll get there, but they'll lose to somebody. They're going to lose to the Bengals, the Chiefs, Ravens if they're there, something like that. But I think Allen has to be better.
Go ahead, Jeff. Yeah, I'm going to get it.
Because, I think it's the coach. He got too much freedom. I think it's time for a change in the coaching staff. Because even when he had Daboll, again, 84 turnovers since 2018, that was on Daboll watch too. He still was turning the ball over. So I don't think it was the coordinator. I think it's the organization that's built up this monster to say, hey, Josh, go, like y'all saying, go do whatever you want. But I think now at this point in his career, we know he has a talent. He needed a coach that's going to keep him structured and say, look, stop. No, because it was plays that Diggs was open and he was throwing it away from him. And I thought it was like, why you just didn't give it to your grass-fed cow? Just come on. But he's going in a different direction.
He's too old for that at this point. Nah. You shouldn't need a coach to tell you what not to do. Like, that's reckless.
It's always like that.
But you don't see, like, he's doing unconventional shit the wrong way. Like, Patrick Mahomes does unconventional quarterback play the right way when it matters. You're doing the shit when it doesn't matter and when you don't need it. That's you. Who else is going to tell you to do that? That's you.
The coach. The coach going to be like, look, you don't have to go for it all right here.
But you should be able to. You should understand that shit. Like, how long have you been in the league? You should understand that. Shouldn't be no coach.
He's still under what, 5 years, right?
It don't matter,
this
bro.
is 6 year right here.
It don't matter, bro. Like,
This
That's
is 6
still
year.
early, man. Like again,
nah, bro.
I think you need a coach to come in and get him back on the saddle and give him some structure and say, look, you don't need to do that. I'll let you know when we need
But
to
I think
do
that's
that
the point that we're saying. Like Dayball was that coach for him. He had less turnovers with Dayball. He was more. He was a better play caller. I think you missing Dayball personally.
But again, 84 since 18. That's
yeah,
still
but how
a
many in
lot.
the last 2 years though?
Huh?
How many in the last 2 years without Dayball? That's what I'm saying.
I'll come back to that.
Yeah, come back to that. Let me.
My-
But go ahead, Daryl. You gonna say that?
I was gonna say real quick. I feel like the running game is the
I agree
biggest
with that
hit for
too.
that because like I feel like the lack of running game makes him lean in more to I got to do all this stuff. I feel like if he had like a lead like bell cow or not even that like just some type of combination back there to like take some stress off of that could work out. So
Yeah, I won't just give up on the running game. They did play like everybody keeps talking about how great Dallas' defense is, how great this is arguably the best defense in football. So like I won't cash too many like you know what I'm saying. I'll wait to see when they go up against some other teams, like you know what I mean, like so. But I don't know. I can't just sit there and say like because of Brian Daboll, you got to know.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying. Like
you but you got to know. Like I said, that one when he just threw it, like you can't tell me you literally just threw it because you knew you'd get it there. You could have ran for 8 yards and got the first down. Come on.
Well, my thoughts are the window's closed for the Bills, honestly, and I think
Yeah.
that Josh
no,
West.
I don't think so. He's
But
too
let me-
young for it.
You don't think so? You don't think the window closed? I
He's
think
too
the
young.
window's
coaching
closed, bro.
change.
Because Diggs ain't getting no younger.
Yeah, you
They
might
still
be
got to
right.
run the game. I feel like that the window is closed. But let me ask one more thing about those two teams. For the Jets, would y'all just roll with Zach or who would y'all bring in? Any suggestions?
They don't. Who else they gonna go get?
There's
Joe
free agents
Flacco?
out there like Wentz.
No, come on,
Wentz is out there. I
They can
think
get
this
Joe
is Matt
Flacco. He
Ryan.
already played for him.
come on,
Ryan,
come
yeah,
on,
Joe
come on,
Flacco,
guys.
yeah.
Come on,
RG3
guys.
said this morning he'll like some other RG3.
Zach Wilson is their best bet.
Yeah, I think
He's our best bet. Yeah, you gotta give him
They
time.
could
You
go
gotta
get
go with
the best quarterback in Eagles history, Nicky Foles. He available.
that. He out there too.
I
Yeah,
ain't gonna lie, that might be it. That might be
Yeah, okay.
right now,
Okay.
right?
Yo, give him a few
I mean,
weeks. Give him
he's
like
gotta-
the next 2 games and see how he does.
Okay, okay, calm down.
Now,
This guy
they
isn't
won
the
first
ultimate
game,
backup QB. Like,
because they won the first game. Toby, you might be right. They might have a little bit more string to watch him play because they lost the first game and might have been inferior going 0-2. They can't risk it. But because they won the first game, they might have a little bit leverage to maybe try Zach maybe 1 or 2 games.
Yeah.
but I thought like I'm gonna ask y'all like he had that pick. He didn't look horrible.
That pick was horrible.
That pick was horrible, but overall.
Bro,
He didn't
the
look-
pass-
Touchdown to
horrible.
Wilson was a pick.
It was a bad pass.
Touchdown to Wilson.
No. Yeah. What they say? Somebody said like he HBO'd it. He helped the brother out. Yeah, Garrett Wilson made an incredible catch.
Yeah.
But I don't think like because Mike, you mentioned it about Dallas.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about Dallas speed defense. How you stop speed?
How you talking?
Physicality.
So
Yeah.
like they might only ask him to throw 15 times a game. He beat a couple teams like that last year. So like you know what I mean?
Zach,
Yeah. Let me move forward to Dallas. Good segue, Jordan. Sunday Night Football. We had the Cowboys destroy the Giants in the NFC East battle. So I want to start with Jordan on this. So are the Cowboys that good or the Giants that bad? Man.
I'm a little bit irritated with this.
Oh my God.
I'm a little bit irritated with this. The Giants are not that good. Why are people saying the Giants got better? Because they got Darren Waller?
They played
I
good.
mean, y'all tell me.
They're saying that they're that good because of the way they ended last year, and then
How did they end last year?
They got
They got how'd they end last year? Yeah,
made the
how'd they end
playoffs.
last year?
then
Yeah,
Got
and
one
who
playoff.
and they got
Got
smoked. And they got
Yeah,
smoked.
don't-
They played the
Hold on, Jordan. Don't they have a coach of the year on the Giants right now?
I don't give a shit, bro. Come on. Go look at their like first 10 games. They got out to a hot start, so they had wins early.
I remember.
And then they started losing and they squeezed in. We know Minnesota's fake. So they beat Minnesota in the playoffs. They went up against a real team and got curb stomped. And then they added Darren Waller. That's it. Like, come on. Daniel Jones is not it. Like, come on, man. Like, Dallas is gonna be nice. Don't get me wrong. But no, the Giants aren't that good.
He just got
Would
paid.
let's talk about Dallas after they play the Jets. and then we can, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
All right, Toby, what you think, man?
Yeah, I agree with Jordan. I mean, Cowboys are good, but Giants are. Come on, I think I fell asleep. I woke up and I'm seeing 40-0. Like, you don't even score. The only team not to score, like, that's embarrassing. Dallas has a great defense. Dak didn't really even have to do much. But it's definitely more bad Giants. I mean, come on, 40-0. If it's 40-0, I'm gonna say it's the Giants. I mean, you can't even put up a point.
Okay, Jeff, you thoughts?
I just think the Cowboys they was rolling hot the first game. That's all. I don't think the Giants that bad. I think the Giants are real balanced offense. I mean, you got Saquon. Remember, Waller when healthy, he was the number 2 tight end in the league, like right behind Kelsey. So let's not act like he wasn't a big difference maker. Like
I got something for that.
So whatever. So like I said, I mean, I don't think the Giants is that bad. I just think it was just week 1 is just it'd be weird all the time. It just really be real weird, like all the time. Week 1, the whole week 1 was weird, like, and to end it the way it did was weird. So, but either way, like I said, the Dallas Cowboys, the defense, they looked immaculate. Honestly, like they looked like 85 Bears, 2,000 Ravens. Like it was looking crazy. But they have talent at each single level, and they've been here before. And they not hot garbage. You know what I'm saying? The Cowboys are pretty solid. They got a good running back. They got a number 1 receiver. They got good backups on the receiving core. Dak really doesn't have to do much. Kind of like a Trent Dilfer type role, really, if they just played it the right way. But it's just Dallas they just smoked them today, and that was it. I mean, the Giants ain't even that bad, man. Let's be for real.
What you think, Daryl?
Me first, I feel like the Cowboys got lucky in the sense of their 2 biggest weaknesses. They were able to hide their 2 biggest weaknesses. That's Dak and Mike McCarthy. Dak only threw for 170 yards, and Mike McCarthy, they could have had me calling plays on offense. And I feel like they could have won just because of how their defense was. And I feel like that can win them games in the regular season, but not a championship. So I feel like once they play them bigger competitors in the NFC, like
you don't think defense and running can win a championship?
Me?
Tony Pollard didn't impress me.
It didn't work for him. Hasn't worked for him in the last 2 years. Sure.
Okay. All right. Jordan, you see you had something to counter Jeff about Darren Waller. What you gonna say?
I mean, no, I was just gonna say that you don't see. There's only 2 teams that won games with the tight end being the best receiver on the team, and both them tight ends had Tom Brady and Mahomes. The Giants are trash.
Bro, it happens all the time, bro.
The Giants are trash.
It happens listen, it happens all the time, man. Like, stop it. Like, stop the blasphemy.
I think the Giants are better than what they put on display yesterday, like Jeff said. I think this was a crazy game. I think Dayball's a good coach, as we saw last year. I think Saquon is Saquon. I don't think Jones is as good as the money he got, but he's all right. You know what I'm saying? He ain't great. Stuff like that. However, I think the Cowboys is that good on defense anyway. Like, I think y'all sleeping on that defense.
Very much so.
Like, for real. Like, they had a ball hawk in Diggs and then added a Hall of Famer in Gilmore on that side. Like, that's crazy, bro. Like,
that's elite defense right there.
That is. And still gonna get pressure with 4.
And the backups, bro.
Like, that's what I'm saying, dog.
And I feel Daryl about McCarthy, but the D coordinator, he know what he doing and stuff like that. So,
that Dan Quinn ain't.
Offense plays? I mean,
man,
can he call offense plays? Because
hold on.
We seen Zeke Elliott last year.
Hold on. How much did they score in the game in these last 2 years? Because you saying like they didn't score 30 points.
Like for real.
But they offensive coordinator in the LA now. So the one that was calling them plays in LA now.
Oh, so you think McCarthy can't call the play? He ain't won a Super Bowl calling plays? Mike McCarthy?
That was a long time ago.
He had the best quarterback in the league. That was 10 years. That was 10 plus years ago.
He's probably wild.
Listen, the Giants brought knives to a gunfight. Period. They're just the Cowboys are just better. The Cowboys are just better.
Hold on, you just said it. They were a playoff team who added Darren Waller.
That didn't impress me. What did that do? They can't even block for the man. So how do they get him the ball? How do they get D Waller the ball if they can't block for Daniel Jones? As long as you have vanilla, they call him Vanilla Vic. As long as Vanilla Vic is your quarterback, everything gonna be real vanilla in New York. Everything, because it's just gonna be regular. They might win like 7 or 8 games, and they might squeeze into the playoffs because the NFC really ain't that hot. But if you look at some of these other teams that didn't make the playoffs last year, I can bet you they make it. I can bet you the Rams make it before the Giants, simply because they have the better
Giants
quarterback.
might squeeze in the playoffs for the second straight year in a row.
No, they're not going.
Trash. You just said they might.
No. I maybe because what other all the other teams in the NFC are weak except for the top 3. It's like the top 3, and then it's like, all right, who got the best QB?
And that's funny you say that, right? Because I was thinking while Daryl was saying, like, talking about scoring, the NFC East, you won't need much scoring to win that. you might be able to just trudge across and catch that. And we haven't had a back-to-back winner in 15 years.
Well, I think that next week the battle of the 1 or 2 defense in the league, Cowboys and Jets, in my opinion. So I think it's gonna be a low-scoring game. I will take the under. That's not a lock. That's not a bet put under yet, but that is, I think, gonna be a lock. The under So
you just said it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well, that's definitely a lock.
With Dak and Zach, the quarterbacks, hell yeah, take the under. Shit.
Yeah, I think the under. It's gonna be turnovers in that game. I agree with him. Stuff like that. But my thing about Sauce is Sauce don't travel, so I'll move CD around if I were them, stuff like that. So he's a good corner, stuff like that. But I don't like to hit on travel.
I'll test some linebackers too.
Yeah, agree. But speaking of NFC East, while the Cowboys destroyed the Giants, the Eagles barely survived Mac Jones and the Patriots. So Jeff, what's your thoughts on that game, man?
Super Bowl hangover starting early, baby.
Oh, you said that, yeah, you just said that.
Listen, no NFC team has repeated and gone back to the Super Bowl since 1974, the Minnesota Vikings. The team who loses in the NFC does not get back. And again, honestly, look, the Eagles hit us with the shell shock last year. The Patriots, they actually they not that bad. I just think it was an off week for them. Because you know what? You got to think about like one thing. Like they got Stevenson, right? And they got Stevenson in the backfield. They got some play call, some pass catchers, maybe. No, they don't. They don't. The Eagles terrible. How was that even? Like how was that a close game, bro? I can't even think of a star wide receiver for the Patriots. Like
I know Mike is coming to me last, so I ain't got nothing to say.
I'm just saying, like how the Eagles. That's what I'm saying. Like they're supposed to be 40-0 in that game. How did they not take care of business? They jumped out early. They let them hang around. Mac threw for 300 yards, couple touchdowns.
3 touchdowns.
Like come on, bro. Like is this the way you want to start the 23-24 campaign out of Philly?
He was looking like Alabama Mac yesterday.
If this the way you want to start the formula, the campaign to say that y'all gonna get back to the chip, damn, it's gonna be a long road, man. Hurts ain't look too impressive. He looked real. His numbers was like, wow, like nothing really to, stargaze at. So, I want them to get it together because this was supposed to be a smackdown. They supposed to come right out the gates. Ike Turner, Tia John in the limo. All right, we're going to go ahead and get it started because we're going back, and they just didn't do it.
All right, so what's your thoughts on that close game?
I don't got too much to say about the game. It's the first. At the end of the day, we're making a big deal out of the first game of the season. I mean, at the end of the day, the Eagles won. They came in, they won. I think they were on the road, right? They were on the road, right? And they won.
Yeah,
so that's what the football's about. The football's about getting the W. And at the end of the day, they won. It was closer than people are saying. Jeff being disrespectful, talking about they needed. It should have been 40-0 over there. Like, come on, you think Bill Belichick is gonna get 40-0? Like, come on. Anyways, his team is gonna compete. Even last year, the Patriots, they're not up to Patriots level, but they still compete. They can still shock you. It's one game. It's one game. That's all I have to say. Eagles won.
Darryl, what you got to say about it, man?
Me, I feel like the Eagles. I know it's only week one, but I feel like the Eagles.
I agree with Stephanie, by the way.
Me too.
I'm sorry, go ahead, my fault.
But yeah, I feel like the Eagles. It's only week one, but I feel like the Eagles, they trying to lean on what worked last year and try to capitalize or try to carry that over to this year. Because if you look at the top dogs in the NFC, the Niners look like they got better. The Cowboys look like they got better. I feel like as of right now, the way it looks, the Eagles at their peak this year, is going to be the same as last year, and I'm not sure if that's going to be to continue to work this year. So
when you say their peak, when you say same as last year, you mean record wise, statistically, finishing the season?
Just like their capabilities. Like, so of course they're gonna have the best quarterback in the NFC. They're gonna have that running game. I feel like their defense, I'm not sure this year. I mean, I know Big Play Slay, he had a pick six. But I mean, with CJ, I'm not sure how that's gonna look for the long haul for the whole season into the playoffs. So yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Jordan, man. I'll chime in after you, bro.
Yeah, man, we're gonna let him cry. Get that milk ready, man. Spill milk on the floor. Here you go. Go ahead.
At the end of the day, we got the dub, like Toby mentioned. That's all that matters. But let's just put a little context to what's going on. The offense was the only the one that really looked shaky. Hurts looked shaky. That's Hurts' first run in 7 months. That's all they first runs in 7 months. The starting offensive line, the quarterback, receiver, all of it. So, and I mentioned it earlier, all the top QBs didn't look like themselves because it's all they first run. So let's just relax. Let's not cast no judgment. Let's not talk about it. It may not be what we're going to be next. We about to cop. Like, I can't even talk. I can't even talk.
Tua look like himself.
I can't even lie.
Hold on. Are you done?
I mean,
are you finished?
Just,
or you done?
I don't know yet, bro. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
Yo, okay. Let me give cause I actually watched this game throughout. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of agree with Daryl, like in a way they're trying to do the same thing they did last year, just kind of like follow the same script. And I don't think they kind of switching it up a lot. I think the book's still on Sirianni, yo. Is he a good coach or not? I think last year they had a lightning rod or whatever like that, but I can't really tell, yet with him. I do think that so what hurts, it's man. Again, I said it in the chat. Yo, Blaine Goddard could have 4 touchdowns yesterday. Yo, this dude
He was off.
Nah, fuck the off, bro. He wasn't reading the
field.
It's
his first run.
Okay.
It's his first one. Joe Burrow threw the ball 31 times and had 82 yards.
And
that was his first run. You feel me?
What'd you say there? I'm sorry.
Because what you said, him not seeing the field, that's been a problem for him in the past, though.
Yes, that's been the problem. They got away with it last year because they had a great defense, a good schedule, yada yada, instead of the third. But he definitely be missing reads. Let me finish. Now let's back in. All right. Cool. Then I feel like that defensive. You talking about the offense? Yo, Mac was cooking them, bro. I was watching the second half, yo. I'm not gonna lie, yo. And he was dropping dimes on them, bro. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And I'm like, I know Slay had a tip pass, pick six is great, but the secondary don't look great to me. I'm sorry. And now Bradbury got a concussion. So it's not even, he's going to be gone for a long time. But I'm not so the defense is just as good as last year. And they didn't have as many pressures or sacks as last year. So to me, I feel they're still going to be a good team, a playoff team. I don't think they're going to win the division. Because just like Jeff said, hold on. Jeff said about the Super Bowl. But also, they don't get back-to-back division championships in the NFC East. They just don't do it. It's been like 20 years since that happened. And or something like that. And also, I just watched, like, they're going to be a playoff team. They're going to win a lot of games, but they don't look as dominant as they did last year to me. But go ahead, Jordan.
Toby mentioned it. It's Bill Belichick. Let's give them a little bit of credit. Yeah. Let's give them a little bit of credit. They played a top 5, top 10. Jones, bro. They played a top 5, top 10 defense. Mac Jones played a good game. I don't like him, but he had a good game. Okay. So week 1. This is week 1.
Same energy?
Yes.
Okay.
1,000%.
Okay.
And then everybody wants to talk about the new D coordinator. Everyone talking about the new OC. You talked about how he was off. He wasn't reading the field. I'm not gonna say I didn't expect them to blow this team out. I didn't expect us to win 40-0. I knew this was gonna be a game.
I expect y'all to win by double digits, bro.
No, but no, because what team blew out New England last year? When do you normally see New England just get ran through?
The Bills.
Except the Bills did it in the playoffs. That was it. Bro, that was Mac's rookie year.
Right, and I ain't seen Mac look like that since his rookie year. Mac
And he was out there dying shit for sure. I didn't like the zone we was running. They was some weird shit, but and another reason why Jalen had a hard time running the field too is the Patriots do the best job at disguising coverages and looks and shit like that. You don't always play against a defense like that. Any QB, a lot of QBs gonna struggle against New England. Like I'm not too
Still
concerned.
Belichick over there.
Facts.
Still Belichick over there.
Well, the good thing is I don't want to beat the dead horse. We don't got a lot of time to wait to see him again. They're gonna be on Thursday night versus the Vikings. So, and they right now they're 6.5-point favorites, the Eagles. So we'll see.
And down 2 defensive starters too.
They're gonna Vikings suck, bro.
Nothing new.
Another.
Why the Vikings suck? It was week 1. Just week 1. Don't overreact.
It was a Buccaneers.
I ain't say that. I ain't say they suck, but
Don't
I said that,
overreact.
but come on, Buccaneers, bro. Come on.
I'm gonna give you another lock. Whatever Jets and Jefferson's prop bet is, go over. Cause he gonna definitely
because he ain't have 100 yards against the Eagles last year. He ain't have 100 yards against the Eagles last year.
We're talking about this year, bro.
He ain't do well. He not. All right. Well, that's all right. We just want to do. All right.
I thought I guarantee he go over. Darryl said first half.
First half.
I mean, he had over 100. I mean, he had over 100 this week. So I mean,
Yeah, we ain't Tampa. We ain't Tampa.
He said, "Give me the boost, Toby."
Pop
the boost.
Toby, we giving you some bets, bro. Tell you, take
I
them.
got it, bro. I got it.
All right, now look. Come on now, don't try to roast. You have 130 on y'all account. 230s. All right.
that's true. That is true.
He ain't doing that versus Philly.
All right. Well, let's move forward, man. Let's talk about the Dolphins and the Chargers, man. That was a close game, a good game, a high-scoring game. And let me go to Darryl first, man. This time, bro. What are your thoughts on that game, on the Dolphins, and the division? How you feel about all that Dolphins and Chargers, bro?
I love the Dolphins. Like everything about them, like the offense, the way they just. I'm just as a Steelers fan. Like I know we struggle in offense. The way like the offense, like the way that the receivers running routes. I mean, they just get open so easily. Like I feel like just the play calling gets them open. Let alone then once they get the ball in the hand, the field takes over. But I feel like for the Dolphins, every big game they're in is a shootout. Like if just going back to the game last year with the Ravens, it was a shootout. Like their defense, I feel like they can just hold like there's someone with like within 20-25, that could be like the thing that can get them over the next hump. If they're gonna keep going through these shootouts, eventually they're gonna run into Burrow or Mahomes that they can't keep up with at the end. So
Toby, we'll get you in there, bro. How you feel about that game?
I think the game was a great battle between two young, great quarterbacks. I'm not the biggest fan of Tua. I'm saying last year I think they played, and I think the Chargers won that game. And I was like, he got one over Tua. This year, Tua came back, got the revenge game. He won. Offense, exciting offensives. Both of them, I don't really see them being a threat, in the long run. They maybe will get to the Alls, but come on, they're not really going to be a threat. And Tua, we just have to pray he makes it throughout the whole season. Like, let's be real. Good game, but I'm not. These teams aren't really gonna, they're not really moving the needle for me.
Wow. Okay, I like that. That's a hot take for me, Toby. Jeff.
It was a very exciting game. Two of the up and coming prospects at quarterback in our league. Tua continues to show more and more why he belongs in the league. Granted, he stayed healthy. Justin Herbert, we knew he was a generational talent. We just want to see him win some more. It was a shootout. I was expecting more from that Miami Dolphins defense, but they got carved up. I mean, Herbert was efficient. I think he was like 22 or 33 for like 220 something yards, maybe, and some tutties. So that was real good for him. I got a big year for him in the bag. Actually, possible MVP in my opinion. You can't stop the Dolphins. That their receiving core is probably top 10 duo ever. Like really, like when you think about two players capable of going over a stack a year, every year, possible 14 a year. And again, Tua is he impressing me more. He winning me more over and over. I knew he was good when he took the spot in college at Alabama and won the championship at halftime. So I knew he was going to be good. He was a generational talent. The height was always a concern, and his health now. But, like I said, I look forward to those shootouts. The Chargers and the Dolphins, lock it in. We're gonna see that for a couple years going forward. Both of those teams are poised. The Los Angeles Chargers and the big market, so they're always gonna be able to attract free agents and get big players. So they're gonna have talent around him. And Eckler is just hands down like one of the most underrated Swiss Army knives there are. They say he's dealing with a little ankle injury this week, so we'll see how he come out next week. But this week, this was something. The one good thing from this week was this Dolphins Chargers game, and it's getting overrated. It's getting overlooked by injuries and stuff like that.
Jordan, how you felt about the game and your boy Tua?
Nah, yeah, I love the fact you guys are coming around on tour. I've been saying it.
I'm not.
I mean, Toby, yeah, you're not on the train. You're not on the Tua train. I've been on the Tua train. That's why Tua went 5th and Justin Herbert went 6th. Tua's a better player. The only difference between them is size. Everybody's going to take the size. I've been saying this.
Okay, that's what you said about the game?
I mean, like, I love what Miami can do. They're capable of winning that division. Hopefully Jalen Ramsey comes back for them. If he comes back for them, they're Super Bowl contenders if Jalen Ramsey comes back.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't know what Toby's talking about.
Who's the Super Bowl contender?
The Dolphins, bro. What do you see? If Jalen Ramsey comes back, they're Super Bowl contenders, bro.
If he comes back,
yeah. I mean, he is right. He's not done for the season, right? I think he's not done for the season.
They possibly in contention right now without him. Huh?
Yeah, facts. Yeah, facts. And your word, no Aaron Rodgers. Now it's only the Bills to worry about.
Yeah.
The division.
Only the Bills. What about the Chiefs?
They don't get wild card.
What about the Ravens? What about
the Dolphins? Got a better defense than the Chiefs. Dolphins got a better defense than the Chiefs.
I don't know.
This is too premature.
I mean, they did let us some points. They did let us some points.
To win the Super
Week
Bowl?
1.
Y'all
Bro.
hearing yourself?
Yeah, bro. You tripping.
They cooked New England last year like damn near every time they got.
They was about to beat Buffalo and Skylar Thompson. No cap.
Bro. They gonna run the East, the AFC East.
Yeah, they don't win the East Division to me. I think they are that good, especially on offense, like Jeff said. To your point, Jeff, last year they had 3,000 yards combined, Waddle and Hill. So yeah, and that was with Tua missing games, and they still had 3,000 yards combined. So I think like sky's the limit for them. I do think that Ram will make their defense more legit. I don't know what Toby's watching, like I said, but they that good. Chargers, I'm never sold on the Chargers, bro. They always fold. Like they always lose close games.
I see this every year, and y'all be looking at me like we gonna end up like
I was with you on that.
Last year they won the close game.
Justin Herbert is a big fold.
No, they won the close game last year.
No, Jeff. Two things can be true. They still fold, but you still end up last in the division. Once all said and done. So,
we first right now.
I know. That's true. No, I thought it was a great game. But I think it ended like Chargers games end. They lose close games. We saw a lot from Tua. He kind of like a dark horse MVP to me, kind of like Jeff said, right now. Because I don't see his stats going down, like with the weapons that he got. So
I was gonna say, I believe all the games he played, he averaged over 300 yards a game, and I believe they were like 9-2. Like him as a starter, they only lost like all the games that he started last year. I'm pretty sure they only lost 2 games.
He's wild animal.
Like I'm saying he might be the most accurate QB in the league.
Yeah, I like him as well. So we'll see how that goes. By the way, I just checked that. The Jefferson over under is 92 yards. So again, take the over.
So are you gonna? So you lying? But he not even gonna do it.
What?
You're not even gonna do it. You're just gonna play. You're just gonna play the spread. You're gonna play the money line. You're not even gonna play the prop.
You know you.
He's not. He's not.
Bro, that's a lot. I'm telling you.
You're gonna be done up.
All right, we'll see.
Don't put no 50 or 100 on it.
He put a Husky joint on that other joint. I said, okay, Mike.
Right, but he was that because he was
That's how you win, man. That's how you win.
Yeah, all right. Don't do that shit on Thursday.
I mean, I still think Eagles in the game. Don't get me wrong. Money line. They might not cover that 6.5 though. We're gonna see. But they'll take the prop. Anyway, moving forward, Cleveland and Cincinnati. Same question, man. Because you spoke about it earlier. Let's start with you, Jordan. Good Browns or bad Bengals?
Ooh, I mean, I think similar scenario like with the Eagles and Cincinnati. First run with Joe Burrow. That weather was terrible in that game. Both quarterbacks looked shitty. They got whooped up front though. Cincinnati. This is supposed to be their best offensive line that they've had, and Cleveland definitely ripped them. And Cleveland always plays them well. You know what I'm saying? I actually have decent expectations for Cleveland. I like Deshaun Watson. I like the way they're set up. Anytime you got Nick Chubb, you can run the rock, you can win. So, and they play some D. They got Myles Garrett. He's a beast. They got a lockdown corner. But I think the Bengals will still get it together. So it's not like, I don't see them not, having a winning record or not making it to the playoffs or being in contention.
Okay.
Their defense got a little worse. But
what about the Browns? You got to make the playoffs?
I kind of do, sneaky, but it's so hard because of every team in the AFC. Like, it's just crazy. I mean, you look at the top, 15 QBs, more than half are on the AFC.
Right.
It's crazy.
Loaded.
So, I don't know.
Darryl, what do you think about that game, Browns and Bengals, man?
As much as I hate it, the Browns look good. Like, that defense, I feel like it's being overlooked. Like, having Zadarius Smith on the other side of Myles Garrett, that's going to cause problems. And then in the secondary, Denzel Ward leading that crew. Like, I know it was the weather conditions, but they was locking Jamar and all of them down. And I feel like they're going to be overlooked a little bit because, they still the Browns at the end of the day. But for now, they look all right. And I feel like with Joe Burrow just missing all that time, I feel like this week one, a lot of the teams that had high expectations in week one played a lot of good defenses, and they didn't really live up to the expectations coming in so far. I feel like once they get this flushed, I feel like a lot of teams got flushed that week one out. I feel like the Bengals are one of those teams, and I feel like they'll be better moving forward.
Toby, what are your thoughts on that game?
Yeah. Joe Burrow's first game. He was hurt. He came back. It was his first game. Browns look good. Defense looked good. The defense looked elite. Another great defense over there. Terrible conditions. I'm not putting too much stock in the game. I don't think if they play 10 times, I don't think the game will be that dominant for the Browns, So it was a one-off. Bengals will bounce back. I think last year, their first game too, they lost against Pittsburgh. Burrow, he came out, he was rusty, throwing picks, here and there. So, and they bounced back. So I think the same thing's going to happen, this year. I'm not putting too much stock in them, and we'll see what happens.
Jeff?
Yeah, it was a weather condition game. But the Cleveland Browns set the tone for their season and what they're going to call their bell cow and their calling card. Solid defense. They had 10 quarterback hits. Chubb ran the ball 18 times for 106 yards, which is a good balance. Deshaun Watson, I don't know if we have expectations of him being the Watson that carried Bill O'Brien and D-Hop, but even if he's middle level, let's say top 12, 15 quarterbacking, they'll be good. They'll be in contention. That AFC North is just a juggernaut. It's going to be just a slugfest, a straight knockdown, drag out, trying to win that division in the AFC North. Every team is legitimately loaded at the positions that matter the most. And it's honestly, in competition, it could be one of the toughest divisions in the NFL. The Bengals, they look real bad. They had 10 punts on 14 possessions. Again, it could be the Joe Burrow rust. Absolutely. I don't take that away. But at the same time, when you have a scenario like that, this has always been the Bengals' problem. They don't give the ball to Joe Mixon enough, dog. Like, this is a really top-tier running back who can carry the ball 20 to 25 times, catch the ball 5 to 7 times out the backfield, and on Sunday he only had 13 carries for 56 yards. That's a real good yard per carry. Give him the ball more. At least
paid the
Joe Burrow
QB
get right.
$75 million. So.
I know, but you gotta. Your organization has to be smarter than just being connected to the money. They have to have the ability to know how to manage the team when the expectations are high and maybe your best player isn't at his fullest health. Because that knee is I'm nervous about that knee. And honestly, knock on some wood, I don't see Burrow making it out the season with that knee intact. I think the defenses that they facing on a weekly basis are going to be real, and they're going to don't, and they're going to chase them down. You got Cleveland, you got Baltimore, you got Pittsburgh in the division. Those three teams are teams that come out with their hat on the defense. So hopefully Burrow can make it out. And the Browns, I agree with you, Jordan. They are really sneakily good at every single level they got a name, but can they put it together? They the Cleveland Browns for a reason. They've been dog bitten for many years, And I just want to see what they do. I mean, again, you know what I'm calling it. I'm seeing a couple ties this year. I know we're gonna see more than like 1 or 2 ties this year. But some teams it's just too well balanced.
Yes, I don't see. I believe it's for game one. I always love the Bengals. They're my Super Bowl pick and certain places, stuff like that. And I don't see the first of all, T. Higgins had 0 yards, for no catches. That ain't gonna happen again. Boyd's still nice. Chase. It was bad weather too. I do believe that front. I mean, they never had a great offensive line for Burrow the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always been a problem. But I do think Burrow shake that. He too elite to have 82 yards, 100 yards. You know what I'm saying? So that would be good. But the Browns, the thing about it is, man, our division unfortunately might get 3 teams in, and it's just a lot of good in the AFC North. So I think Watson is still creeping slowly, but getting back to form and stuff like that. And then they always got to run a game with Chubb, like you said. So I don't know. I think the Browns are sneaky good, man. So
the thing about the Bengals is the only thing that worries me about the Bengals is Joe already had the knee injury, and again, like I said, I don't think they use Mixon enough. I just don't.
I mean, when you're getting whooped like that up front, people.
Yeah, that's what I was.
I mean, when you get whooped like that up front, you kind of resort to the pass. I mean, they did. There was a close game. They got down later in the ball game, but damn Joe Burrow, they're gonna throw. It doesn't matter. He got to the Super Bowl with the worst offensive line. They're gonna sling it. He just was.
That's why I'm worried about his health.
all right.
But I feel like they do when they need to run the ball, especially late in the year. I feel like they do run it well. So I think they'll be all right.
I think Mixon is I don't know what I want to say. He's not what he was. I feel like he's slowing down a little bit to me as well.
He can get underutilized. I mean, every year that go by, they don't use him enough.
Well, let me move forward and say something. I will only say one time this season. The Raiders are the number 1 in AFC West. Gotta put it out there.
You only need to do it one time because it might not never be said again. Might not never need to be said again.
Well, at least you know.
But they did just escape Russ and the Broncos a little bit in that game. Let me talk about. Let me go to Toby because that's his boy Russ. How you felt about that game, man? With Raiders and the Broncos.
Honestly, I didn't watch that game.
Okay.
I didn't watch that game. Come on, who wants to watch the Raiders and the Broncos? But
30-7, you got free time.
Damn.
It is what it is. It is
I'm
what it
just
is.
saying.
We beat them. We beat the Raiders last time we played. That's all I care about.
Facts.
Well, but I'm disappointed in Russ. I mean, I looked at the score. I didn't expect it to be that close. I'm expecting Russ to, get back to Russ, but I don't know. He might be cooked. He might be cooked.
Wash, bro.
This might be. I think it was 2 years ago. People don't like to, compare the two, but when I had him in fantasy, and he was just terrible week in, week out. I didn't draft him last year, and he was bad last year too, and now he's bad again. I think his mind is just completely gone from football. He's not 100% committed anymore, and I think he's cooked. So it was a bad start for the Broncos because we expect to see more, from the Broncos, especially with Sean Payton. So it was a bad start. Raiders, impressive win. Good for them. They got a dub under the belt. We all know they're not doing anything, though. We all know they're not a threat to anybody. They're just the Raiders. All right? They're just another team that's gonna maybe win 7 games. That's it.
That's what I said.
Damn.
That's what it is. That's what it is. What's wrong with her? What did I say that was? I'm confused. They're not.
Where's the line?
I'm crying.
Daryl, what you think about that game, Raiders and Broncos, bro?
I ain't watched it either, but my takeaway, I feel like the Raiders. I mean, on the Broncos, I was expecting more coming in, especially with Sean Payton taking over. Seeing them go for an onside kick for the first play of the game, I never thought I'd see that coming from a Sean Payton team. I'm not sure if he's trying to prove a point or trying to make a statement, but seeing that, it was kind of off. But the Raiders, I feel like they're gonna be competitive. I mean, with Jimmy Garoppolo, he's proven that he can get the ball in hands with weapons. I mean, with Devontae, Jacoby Myers, I think he's with them now. Yeah, and then Josh Jacobs got a new deal, so I mean he's no issues there. And then you got Max Crosby, still another team on the other side. and Chandler Jones too. So I feel like they're gonna be respected. They're gonna be competitive. But I was expecting more from the Broncos.
Jordan on that game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the score was 17-6. Not a lot of fireworks going on. Probably expected more.
I've been saying this for years, by the way. Hold on. What Stephanie said. I've been saying that for years.
Yeah.
We know that's the truth. Like,
Go ahead, Jordan. Sorry.
So I mean, like, obviously, I kind of want to see Russ play better, do better. I thought he would be in a situation with Sean Payton to do better. Week 1, the Raiders aren't too bad defensively. I'll give them a little credit. But it sucks. Like, the Raiders to me are like the Clippers of the NFL. Like, you guys have talent, and it just never pans out.
You got chips.
That's great.
You got chips.
When you weren't even born, probably.
I was born when we won the chip. What are you talking about?
Yeah, in diapers. Like, come on. Like, what? Like, fuck out of here.
Three trophies or more in your building, then you can talk.
I mean, that's cool. Like, I heard it all. But nah, in all seriousness, like, well, it's funny, Daryl, you mentioned the onside kick. He did do that onside kick against the Colts in the Super Bowl. That was after halftime.
That was halftime, though.
Yeah, I know, but that was still gutsy. So he's I think they'll be all right. I mean, like, I don't know. They're in a tough division. So like the Raiders and the Broncos are like, that's funny. They both play together. They both played each other, and those are like the 2 worst teams in the division. Like, seriously. So they're gonna have to fight it out for third. They probably aren't gonna make the playoffs because when you look at the other teams with the quarterbacks, they're just not too far. We thought Russell Wilson would have been, but if he can be, then maybe so. But we haven't seen it. So,
Jeff, I'm gonna let you have your glory, man. Go ahead, talk about your team.
I'm just saying, man. Like, 3 out of the last Super Bowl hosting teams have won the Super Bowl.
Oh my God!
Los Angeles Rams, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Chiefs was the off season, and the Bowl is here in Vegas this year, right? And I don't know what it's going to take to get this through your thick melons, man. Like, the last time Jimmy G was in the playoffs, he damn near won the Super Bowl in 2019, right? He took the Chiefs to the Super Bowl. I mean, to the 49ers to the Super Bowl. Couple passes away from winning it. Let's give him some credit. Listen, we're going to hang our hat on running the ball. Jacobs had 19 carries for like 48 yards, low yards per carry, but that means that we're willing to give him the ball already. They already know, look, we need to give him the ball so we can have a balanced offense. Like Daryl said, we're going to put the balls in the hands of our playmakers. That's just how McDaniels is. He's similar to Kyle Shanahan and how they ran it in San Francisco, where they just gave the ball to the playmakers and let them get the yards per carry, yards per catch, stuff like that afterwards. I mean, listen, I don't expect us to have blowout wins or be in shootouts. I think we're going to make a lot of our games ugly. It's going to get muddy. It's going to come down to what we can do defensively. I mean, look, we had 7 tackles for loss, which is good. That means we were getting penetration on the D-line. I don't expect Russell Wilson to ever recover from whatever he went through that made him lose his psychological willpower to play football in the National Football League. Again, third in that division, I could see that division having 3 teams get in the playoffs. Like, somebody's going to have to fold somewhere. We know the South, it's only going to be 1 team. We know the AFC North, it might only be one. The AFC East, it might only be 1 team there. We just don't know. The way the Bills look, it might just be the Dolphins. There's room for the NFC North, the AFC North, and the AFC West to maybe have 1, 2, or 3 teams in there. I expect us to be in the playoffs this year. Don't worry about it. Like I said, it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be ugly, but we're going to get it done.
I can't even respond to all that. I'm gonna just say
that.
It was facts.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, bro. You just said Jimmy G. You don't have Kyle Shanahan. You don't have the 49ers defense, offensive line.
We actually do have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, bro. So chill with all that. We have actually one of the top 5 lines in the NFL. We got one of the best receivers in the league. We got a top 5 running back. And we got possibly one of the
y'all have had all that for a long time.
We had Derek Carr, bro.
And you just said Jimmy G's gonna take you to the bowl.
Jimmy G been to the Super Bowl. He's led a team to the Super Bowl.
This is not the 49ers.
Listen, man. Listen, if you act like I'm saying it has to be the same exact team. All I'm saying is he has
the Super Bowl is nuts, bro.
Listen, he has the poise and he has the experience to lead the team.
Yo, Toby funny as hell. He keep laughing.
Yeah, because when
telling
Jeff says like the people who hosted the Super Bowl the last 3 years.
That's the truth. The last 3 Super Bowls, the 2 of the teams that hosted it won the chip.
Yo, chill, bro.
Far-fetched, bro.
Yes. No, that's the issue. That's the issue. That's the issue.
I'm telling you. A lot of
I get like y'all talked about me being delusional, but my team.
No, I see. Like sometimes I think Jeff be playing in the text, but the fact that he actually said that right now, like
when I be saying facts, what you want me to say? Make stuff up.
I will bet you my crib they don't make the freaking Super Bowl.
If you the facts,
bet you my crib they don't make the freaking Super Bowl. They won't even beat the Chiefs twice. What do you mean? How they gonna make the Super Bowl? They're not gonna beat two. They're not gonna beat 2 teams in their division.
We might not even have to beat some of the top tier teams. We actually might.
Come on, bro.
And let's not act like let's not act like the year before last we weren't in the playoffs.
Oh my god. At 10-7.
We made the playoffs.
I don't even think it was 10-7. Were they 10-7? I don't even know if you guys were 10-7.
we know.
I'm just saying, dog. Like,
yo, that's why I didn't respond. I couldn't respond to that. I would just say
dark horse, bro.
Russ is washed. I'm gonna just.
I won't be shocked.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let y'all have the Raiders, man. That's it, man. No, Russ been washed for a couple years now, bro.
That's what happens when you let your woman control your life, man.
Yeah.
Take heed.
I know.
I'm gonna go back to
some other stuff or whatever like that. Yeah. But, last one, I just said the Niners win. I don't want to talk about who they played against, but they won. But the question is that.
But you wanted to talk about who we played against.
But listen,
come on, man. Come on.
The question is, are the Niners the best team in the NFC to y'all? Jordan, you can start, bro.
I mean, I liked what I saw from Brock Purdy. I expected a lot more from the Steelers. I thought it was going to be a way better game. I believed in the defense. I believed in what I thought from Kenny Pickett from preseason, even though I know they don't do that because it's preseason. At the end of the day, they did go up against, top 3 defense and ball. This team was in the NFC Championship last year. The Steelers didn't make the playoffs last year, so growing pains. I don't think they're going to be that bad.
Come on, Mike.
Yeah, 49ers, though, I mean, the 49ers are the 49ers. Like, I expect them to be who they are, what they've been. You know what I mean? And, like, I'm ready for that rematch because it was a lot of chit-chat. So, I'm ready for that rematch.
Where? In the NFC?
You know what's going on. Don't do that.
Okay. Let me go to Daryl, man. He's speaking about how you feel about the Niners. Are they the best team in NFC to you?
I feel like they're the best team in the NFC. I do. As a Steelers fan, like going into this game, because like ever since Brock Purdy took over. Yeah, ever since Brock Purdy took over.
Yeah, we in here, baby. We in here. You see it? We in here.
I was about to grab.
He definitely said no terrible time. You was not swinging that around the first quarter.
Anyway, you gotta represent. We in here. Anyway, go ahead, Daryl. My Steelers brethren, Daryl. Go ahead, brother.
But I was saying, like, I was so ready to try to have the Steelers expose the Niners because to this day, ever since Brock Purdy took over for the Niners last year, Brock Purdy has yet to beat a team with a record over 500. I kept track of that ever since they started that hype train last year. And I was so ready to come in and the Steelers, like, expose all that. But that defense, I mean, they got playmakers all around. Like, Fred Warner was flying around. He cracked Najee before he even came through the line one play. I was like, all right, I know what today is. And then offense, Brock Purdy, he just makes the right decision every time. Like, every third down, he finds the right read. And then those playmakers, all you gotta do is get in and get the ball in their hands, and they do the rest. Kittle, he ain't really. I don't even know he played. Like
3 catches. That's
he only, 3 catches. Okay,
cool.
He
both my fantasy teams actually. So
I mean, Debo, he was quiet too. It was just McCaffrey, just running, doing anything he wanted, and then throwing up to Ayuk. Really, so they ain't really like show their full capabilities or what they have. So. And he's like right now, they're the best. And then
Ayuk is the number 1 right now.
Yeah, he's the new number 1 over there. 100%.
Yeah, I agree. Jeff, are they the best team in NFC to you, the Niners?
No, I think the Saints might be. I think the Saints.
Yo, I wish my boy Tyler heard that. Oh my god.
The Saints got a top 5 defense too. Let's not get it twisted. They actually might have a number one and a number 2, depending on how Mike Thomas come back. They got Jamal Williams from Detroit, and they gonna add Alvin Kamara after the 3 games. So it's not like they terrible, dog.
Yo, bro, they put up 17 points.
Like
not for nothing. No, it is. No, you're right. But like Derek Carr. No, but Derek Carr,
are we drinking the week 1 Kool-Aid or not?
No, you're right. You're right. But bro, Derek Carr didn't even look like they could get. Like he didn't even look.
Neither did Joe Burrow. But we was throwing.
You're right. But like, bro,
what are you talking about? We was throwing all the week 1 hype out. Like,
Jeff, stop talking.
I'm just saying they are the best team. They're gonna be the best team in the NFC.
No, how?
Yo, first of all, I think their defense is.
They're not. They didn't even look like they were the best team in their division.
One game,
week 1,
bro. Neither did
you. I'm just saying. No, we did. Relax.
What?
I don't care what Dallas. I don't care what Dallas did.
Oh my gosh, you know what I be talking about? Like I'm delusional, but this guy's a homer, bro. Like,
Toby, we finished laughing at Jeff. How you feel about the Niners being the best team in the NFC?
You gotta stop with these takes.
I mean,
I'm about to go to I gotta go to FanDuel, put in Raiders, Saints, see what it's looking like for Super Bowl.
It don't gotta look good.
Might be on something.
That's a banger. We all rich if we do that. We all rich. Them odds is in the millions.
All I'm saying is this: win a game first. Like,
okay.
win a game first. This
what
season.
You mean?
Not you, right? Not you, Jordan.
These
other cats.
First of all, he's switching the whole topic. The question was, who's the best team in NFC?
Right.
This man said the New Orleans Saints. All right. Okay. The best team in NFC, I'm gonna go with the Eagles. I'm gonna go with the Eagles.
Okay. All right.
The Eagles are the best team. They won the Super Bowl. It's simple. It's a simple pick. They won the Super Bowl last year. They beat the 49ers.
Thank you, Toby.
They beat everybody else. God, stop.
I'm telling you, dog.
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles are the best team. I mean, they just won the Super Bowl. Come on. The 49ers. There's a lot of teams better than the Saints, man. I can't believe you played that one like, yeah, bro. That was a new one, bro.
Name a team better than the Saints right now. They more complete, bro. Like, they complete all the way around the board.
Bro, I think you only supported the Saints because you like Derek Carr, bro. That's your man. He just left the Raiders.
No. The only reason why he's saying this is because they have a good defense, and he thinks the division is going to be shitty.
They're going to crash the division.
But they didn't even look like the best team in their division.
Yo, neither did the Eagles. What are we talking about?
I don't care.
Gave up 300.
I don't care. I know where we're going. I know where we're going. The Saints beat the Titans by 1, and they needed a freaking. This is Derek Carr's calling card.
Are we talking about?
Yo, this is his calling card. Say it's not.
Is we doing
late in the game, up by 1, deep ball? How many times have y'all seen that in the last 3-4 years?
Week 1.
Like, this is gonna be the same shit, bro. They're gonna be. They might not even win the division. I had them win the division. They might not. The way they look, they might not win the division.
Bro, come on, man. Stop it. You just talking, man.
That was hilarious, bro.
Yo,
so the Saints are your nuts. The Saints.
They got one of the top 5 easiest schedules this year.
Right. Why? Because of the division?
No, because their schedule is easy, dude. What you talking about?
Outside of that, bro. They're not gonna. That doesn't mean they're gonna be the best team in the NFC,
though. Go ahead. Mike.
Yeah, I'm gonna move forward. Okay. Jordan. All right, so we got a new segment that Jeff kind of introduced to us, but we're gonna give our picks for this week. Myself and Jordan, we bet the most, so we're gonna see what our actual picks would be.
And you gotta get. We might have to start. You got me for NFL, so we might have to start recording this shit.
What happened?
What?
Might have to start tallying up wins.
Oh, all right.
Y'all just giving us betting locks.
What should we
pick'ems?
What's your betting locks?
Let's give us some locks.
Yeah, go ahead.
You go first, bro.
Yeah.
All right. I'll go. So I'm not giving any money line because those are easy ones. I'll give you those in the chat, Toby. But As far as other ones, I'm taking the Ravens, who are actually the underdogs, +3 over the Bengals, so they're getting 3. I think they're gonna beat them. I like Green Bay -1.5 over the Falcons, and I got the Colts -1.5 over the Texans. I don't know why I don't get 1.5, but -1.5 over the Texans. Those
It's
are
still
my
early.
locks.
They might give him more as the week go on.
Those are my 3. Jordan.
Good picks. Good
Nah, I had similar. I had Green Bay 1.5. That's free. I actually wanted to take the Texans +1.
All right.
They
What are you
played
going to
decent.
do? Not want
They
to.
played decent against. I like the way they played against Baltimore.
They lost by 20. We talk, like
Nah, they were in that. They were in that game late though. Like they were in that game late though. I like.
It was down 17. Like
Nah. I like it. Green Bay 1.5. Nah, yeah, Green Bay 1.5.
Texans.
I like the Texans +1 and like the Giants -6 against the Cardinals. I was gonna take the Jets +9.5. I like the Jets.
Wait.
the
Back
Giants.
up.
What?
Hold on. You got the Giants. You giving the
Plus
Cardinals 6, but you just said how bad the Giants are early in the
That
show.
makes no sense.
Yeah, the Cardinals are worse. What do you mean?
Cardinals
Joshua
are
Dobbs. Yeah, the Cardinals are worse. Come on. If they can't beat the Cardinals, then everything I said was completely accurate.
Mhm.
That they played, that they're Bishop Sycamore out there.
Wait.
Like
You said the Texans at what?
Texas +1. Texans +1. I think they might be in Indy. I think Anthony Richardson's banged up too.
Is
Yeah,
it?
me.
Okay. And then I got the Ravens getting 3 on the Bengals. I'm taking the Ravens.
You know, like the Giants -6.
I like the Giants money line, or maybe like an alternate teaser, like Toby be doing. I don't know about 6, because the Arizona was in that game versus Washington just last week. They lost by 1, didn't they?
Washington.
Come on, Sam Howell.
Washington, bro. Like Washington.
Sam Howell.
It's Danny Jones. What you talking about?
Daniel Jones is better than Sam Howell. The
Yeah.
Giants are better than the rest. I mean, the Washington, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come
All right,
on.
well, shit.
All right.
All right. Well, those are our pickles. Last thing. Okay. So
There's
last
lots
week,
for the week.
Daryl, you wasn't here last week, but you can pick this week with us since you're here. But last week we picked 3 games. We had Cincinnati versus Cleveland, Miami versus the Chargers,
Damn, I
and
got that.
Buffalo versus the Jets.
Damn.
So I'm gonna start from the bottom all the way up. Toby was 0-3. He had Cincinnati, he had the Chargers, and he had the Buffalo.
And he bet.
Jeff was 1-2. He had Buffalo. He had the Chargers, and he had Cleveland with us. And then me and Jordan were 3-0. That's why we bet.
Yeah.
We were 3-0. So we both had Cleveland, we both had Miami, we both had the Jets. So,
We all know the Jets shouldn't have won that game, so let's just not even get flabbergasted by
They
those
won.
they won.
Let's not act like
They
they're
won.
supposed to win, bro. Like
What were they supposed to do?
they supposed to hang it up when he went out.
Me and Jordan were 3-0 this week. Stuff like this. So
Nah,
Yeah.
here's what we thought it was. This week, though, my picks, the games we're betting on, picking are Baltimore versus Cincy, Bears versus the Bucks, and Packers Falcons. Just to mix it up a bit. So, who wants to go first with these picks?
the new guy.
Oh, Daryl, why don't you go first, bro? I'll pick these games. Yeah.
First one, I got Cincy. I got them bouncing back. I don't think Joe Burrow is going to come out 2 weeks in a row looking like that. I feel like they're going to lock in. I like the Bucks over the Bears. Just based off of last week, I just don't like what I see from the Bears. I feel like Baker can get the ball in the hands of Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and just let that defense just attack Justin Fields. And then I love what I'm seeing from the Packers and Jordan Love. I feel like they're going to – I don't know what the spread is, but I definitely got them. So.
It's only 1.5, actually, so.
Oh, yeah. I'll take that for sure.
Toby, yeah, try to redeem yourself, bro, from 0-3 start.
I'm about to dip, Mike. I'm about to dip.
All right, so last thing we're doing anyway.
Let me get my picks. It's basically the same thing. Cincy's gonna bounce back. They're not gonna go 0-2. They was terrible last game. They're gonna come back. Bears, they're terrible. Bucks beat the Vikings. I'm going Bucks. Packers versus Falcons. Packers. Falcons, young team. Packers, they have more experience. Packers, easy. 3-0. I'll be back.
Did you win any fantasy games this week, Toby?
I'm out, bro.
You had a terrible week, yo.
Yeah, bro.
You had a terrible week, yo. Get him off the can.
All right, Toby. Good to see you, man. All right. I'm gonna say me and Jordan for last, as we had the best record. Jeff, what you got, bro?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Baltimore. I'm gonna go Baltimore Bears Packers.
All right, Baltimore for you. You said Bears Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore.
I think
Bears.
Justin Fields can give us something this week.
And
The spread's a money line.
which one for what?
These
Like
just
all,
pick.
like all three. Those picks. Okay, cool.
They just
Yeah,
regular.
you
Pick
just
them.
pick them. Yeah.
Cool.
Jordan, what you got, bro?
So I got Baltimore. I actually like Baltimore over Cincy. I think they're going to have a better game. They lost J.K. Dobbins. I think they're going to do a little bit more because it was Lamar. They had a little bit of trouble against defending the run against Deshaun Watson. So I like the Baltimore. I'm going Tampa and I'm going Packers.
You going Tampa over your boy? Well, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even get to say anything about him. I have a lot to say about that.
About what? Oh, that game?
Yeah, the whole thing.
Anyway, I'm going.
Anyway,
I'm going with Jeff did. Same thing. I got Baltimore. I got the Bears, and I got the Packers as well. I think that the Bucks did win the game, but it's still Baker to me, man. So I'm gonna go with the Bears on that, and the Packers gonna win the game. And I think Baltimore gonna upset Cincy for game 2. Like Cincy don't have good starts in their seasons and stuff like that. So I'm rolling with that. But anyway, man, as Toby just did, man, that's the end of our show. Thank you, Daryl,
Yeah.
once again for joining us. I appreciate it, man. You invited every week. I put the thing in the chat whenever you're free or not free or stuff like that. Jordan, hopefully we see your face again next week. But happy to got you. Jeff, always appreciate the insight. Thank you for everybody who was in the comments. Steph and Mike and I'm sorry. I mean that's her picks in there. She got Baltimore, Bucks, and Packers. So you remember what she picked. And appreciate you watching every week too, Steph. And for everybody else, please like, comment, and subscribe to One Mic Media as we build this channel. And we'll see you guys next week, same time, 8 o'clock.